Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
A magic beyond anything you could ever imagine.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Sagrera Farms on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Locking down the middle of the day.
You really think that's the best idea?
Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
It's quite a piece of work.
Hour 2, Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Chris Blair in 15 minutes. Luke Johnson here in half an hour. I always chuckle a little bit. I don't know why, but I do chuckle when I hear Chris Canty do their tease for the next day and says, resident Super Bowl champ Chris Canty here. And I'm curious, like, should we have the morning show guys? It's your resident national champions here.
I mean, they could. I will say, if I won a Super Bowl, you're going to know I won a Super Bowl.
Should I hit him with it's your resident intramural basketball champ, Hunt Palmer here?
Should
I hit him with that? Your resident District 1-2A 2004 baseball champ, Hunt Palmer here.
You can do it. You can do it. No, but look, if you got to do it, you got to commit to it. You can't just stop doing it.
I don't think I'm going to go with intramural champs, considering that we were playing 5-on-5 basketball and we had 6 players on our team and I was the 6th man. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and put that on the nameplate.
Hey, that's crucial, though. We need that guy to come off the bench and need a breather.
So we played. Have you heard this story about our intramurals? It's a great story.
Oh.
So we had a 6-man basketball team, and we went undefeated in the fraternity league, which whatever.
Yeah.
So we played the Open League champion in intramurals.
Okay.
And the Open League championship, we went and watched the game, and quickly realized, this team is Chris Hawkins, Harry Coleman, Brandon LaFell, Ricky Jean Francois. It's the 07-08 National Championship football team.
I'm about to say that. You playing the
that was on this team, and they won, and so we played him in the championship game. And we had 6 guys on our team, and I was a 6th man, and for like 90 seconds, Jared Weaver, one of our players, lost a contact. So I had to go in for like 90 seconds, and then he came back in. So I played 90 seconds in the game. Yeah. I had a steal and a missed layup. I stole the ball from Chris Hawkins. Like we were in a zone, and I stole the ball from him and then went the other way and missed a layup. And then I sat down. But we crushed him. Our team destroyed him.
No,
destroyed
y'all won that game
by like 20.
No way.
Yes.
Against the football
team. I played 90 seconds, but our team was really good.
A win is a win, bro. It don't matter how you got there.
That's what we're doing for the promos moving forward. Resident intramural basketball champ, Hunt Palmer checking in.
And I don't even. I'm about to say resident bench warmer Jordy Kitchens here to report. Like I don't.
Oh man, your Little League champ back in 1994, Hunt Palmer checking in here.
Oh, so you can't do that. Don't do that. They could be like, get off the airwaves, Hunk.
All right, let's talk about the college football playoff. I sat down at my desk today, and I'm going to preview the games tomorrow because they start tomorrow with Bama and Oklahoma, and then you've got the morning with Miami and A&M, and then you've got the afternoon with Tulane at Ole Miss, and then you've got the night game with Oregon hosting James Madison. But before we break down those games, which we'll do tomorrow, I was curious how many teams I think can win the national championship in a 12-team playoff. Win it. Not win a game or win the national championship. Because we think of college football as this exclusive club at the top, where if you're not, in the last 25 years, if you're not LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Auburn, Florida, like you hadn't really won. There's like 9 programs that have won the last like 25 championships. And you go back into the days of Miami and Nebraska, but there's never just some breakthrough like there is in college baseball, in college football. It's an exclusive club. So the question is, in this era of the portal and NIL, in this era of revenue sharing and where Indiana's been in the playoff 2 years in a row and Vanderbilt's 10-2 and things seem to be on their heads, is there a bigger range of teams that can actually win the national championship? So I went through the exercise and I tried to be fair and I tried to be literal in this that I think can win the national championship. Not if 4 other quarterbacks get hurt or, one team has to sit out with COVID, which actually happened in the College World Series, NC State. Who can really win this thing, right? And so you start at the top with the 1 seed. Indiana, they can win it. They beat Ohio State on a neutral site. They beat Oregon on the road. They've been in the playoffs 2 years. Their quarterback's going to be the first pick in the draft. Like, they can win it. They're the 1 seed, sure. The 2 seed's Ohio State. They can win it. They've got a great coach. They've got the best 2 receivers going. They've got incredible talent, pedigree, defending national champs. Absolutely. Those 2 are easy. Georgia can win it. Georgia's defense has played lights out recently. The offense has been bumpy. Like, it was bumpy against Georgia Tech. Wasn't great. But they've got talented players there. They've got the pedigree, too. Their defense is awesome. I don't think we have to have a big debate about Georgia. So 1, 2, and 3, Indiana, OSU, Georgia in. The 4 seed is Texas Tech. Now, I'm not going to profess to be an expert in Texas Tech football. Their defense is good, and it is expensive, and it does have pros on it. Their offense is okay, and I think the strength of schedule is very poor. I want to say Texas Tech can win the national championship. But to do that, they're going to have to beat Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State or Georgia probably. I don't think Texas Tech can do it. I've got them in the no category, even though they've got a bye. So now you go into the teams that play this weekend, and you start with Oregon as the 5th seed. I think Oregon can win the national championship. I think Dante Moore's good, not great. I think Dan Lanning is great. I think that they've been in playoff games before. I think they've got NFL players. DeCorian Moore is coming back from injury. That's a big help to them on the outside. I think they can do it. Now, they're going to have to beat Texas Tech, Indiana, who they've played already, and then go beat Ohio State or Georgia probably. But I think Oregon can do it because I think that Saturday is a bye. Then you go to the 6th seed, and you go to Ole Miss. Ole Miss went to Athens and had control of that game. Now, Lane Kiffin was there for that. How much you want to take away from them, we'll see. They're going to have to beat Tulane, which they'll do at home. They got to beat Georgia. Then they got to beat Ohio State. Then they got to go beat Indiana or Oregon or Texas Tech or Oklahoma or whatever. I don't think Ole Miss can do it. I think they're good. I think they've got a really good offense. I think their quarterback makes plays. I think they can beat any team in the bracket. I don't think they can beat every team in the bracket. If you get what I'm saying. In a 4-quarter setting, I'll take Ole Miss to go play with somebody, and they could beat them 1 out of 5. Can they win that many games in a row? I would say no. Then you got the 7 seed A&M. And we'll figure out some of the answers to the questions on Saturday against Miami, where they're a 3.5-point favorite, and then certainly if they go to the Cotton Bowl and play Ohio State. If what we saw against mediocre teams, them dominate and play really well on both sides of the ball, is real, or if they just played the softest schedule the SEC could possibly cough up, and that's how they got here. I think there's reason to believe that Texas A&M is good across the board and has played some bad halves. And they played an embarrassing half against South Carolina and a bad second half against Texas. But I am going to put A&M in the can-do-it category. And trust me, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to beat Miami, Ohio State, Georgia, and Indiana or Oregon. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm going to put them in the can category. And then we can move a little bit more quickly moving forward. I don't think Alabama and Oklahoma can do it. I think Bama is soft. I think Bama can't run the ball. I don't think Bama stops the run great. And I don't think they can do it. Their side of the bracket looks softer. Oklahoma's tough on offense, like they're not very good on offense. Indiana, we just have a preconceived notion of Indiana from 100 years of football, but they'd have to beat Indiana, then Texas Tech or Oregon, and then the Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M side. I just don't think that Bama and OU can get through that. So I'm out on those two. That brings us to the 10 seed, which is Miami. I don't think they're good enough to do it either. I think they can win on Saturday. I don't think they will, but I think they can. And I don't think they can get beyond that because I think Carson Beck turns the ball over too much. And those 2 losses against bad teams it's just an evidence of how poorly they can play. And if you play even close to that poorly against these good teams, you will get cooked. And they got to play a good team every step of the way. They don't get a single doable game. Like, it's at A&M, which is going to be brutal. It's against Ohio State, against Oregon, and then in a championship game. I don't think that Miami can do it. And I certainly don't think Tulane and James Madison can do it. So to me, I've got 5 teams I think can win a national championship here. The top 4 in Texas A&M. Jordan, have I misstepped greatly here in any way? Can A&M win the championship?
Unfortunately, and I might burn up, just combust into a million pieces right now when I say this, but I do think A&M can win it just off their defense is amazing. Now, I haven't really watched A&M outside of the LSU game, so I'm about to say I'm perceived that LSU O-line was just bad, but Howell looked like an absolute monster.
He's the first round pick. Yeah, he's awesome.
He looked mean, so I don't like Marcel Reed, but I respect Marcel Reed because we was down there at Thibodeau for the Man and Passing Academy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm the Tiger Killer," and he came and killed LSU. So I gotta give credit where it's due. He's a man of his word. Said he's gonna do it, and actually did a couple months later. So I think A&M can unfortunately get there, but we'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. Because A&M, they're the bad news bears. You already know they're just.
If they lose on Saturday, I'll laugh through the new year. I mean, I may not even watch the Texas Bowl. I'll still be belly laughing. But what about my thought that Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Oklahoma cannot win the national championship?
Definitely not Alabama. They cannot run the ball, like you said. I'm not gonna I ain't gonna say they're soft, but they're
soft.
I can't say that. You can do that. I can't do that. I can't.
Soft.
I can't co-sign them.
I hope Marler's listening. Soft.
Yeah, he definitely is listening because he got on me about not seeing Home Alone. But, okay. Oklahoma, not in a million years. Mateer, not in a million years. Not buying that.
Offense is not great.
Texas Tech, I think Texas Tech, they're one of those teams where you need to crawl before you walk. Like I need to see them be here more consistently in this position to where I'm like, okay, but they got the donor, they got the money coming in, so we'll see. You're building on that. But I don't think Texas Tech. And definitely not Ole Miss. How I stand with Ole Miss. I know you don't like Tulane. I know you don't want to see the Green Wave get the W.
No, I do. I want Tulane to win desperately. I think they stink and have no chance.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think.
Well, I'm not going to say they stink, but I just need it for the
No, they definitely stink. They lost by 20 points to UTSA and 1,000 against Ole Miss. They stink.
I can't look. I just need Tulane just for the plot, just for the.
No, I would I'd belly laugh through Christmas.
Oh yeah, I mean that would make my year honestly. So I don't think none of them can win the national championship. Texas Tech, I'm kind of leaning towards them more out of that group between Oklahoma and Alabama, but they got to be here a little bit more often before I co-sign them.
To finish off the thought, like having 5 teams right now, you think can win it? I think that's pretty healthy. Yeah. Pretty healthy for college football. It's a weird time. Weird stuff going on, but I think having 5 teams that I think have a legit chance to do it, and I'm excluding the 4 seed, and I think a lot of teams would not exclude them, but we'll see. I think that's a good thing. So we'll preview those games tomorrow and get into them and my thoughts on them, and maybe bet them against the spread as well. But just wanted to get a thought on big picture, like before we kick it off, what do we think can happen? And those are my 2 cents at this point. Take a time out, come back with Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers, next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Now we can talk about the Highland Insurance Group. Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Highland Insurance Group wish you a Merry Christmas. And they know they can help you out with property and casualty. They can also help you out with your group and employee benefits. There's been a carrier that some folks have in the benefit space that's really hiked things up on rates. And because of that, the Highland Insurance Group has gotten a lot of phone calls over the last 6 weeks. If your company, your carrier for your benefits, has really squeezed you on that renewal, call the Highland Insurance Group for a second option. They may be able to help you out. We know that benefits are a big, big deal in terms of acquiring talent and certainly keeping the talent in your organization. It's important, but it can be cost prohibitive at times, or it can feel that way. If you're feeling the heat with that increase on your renewal or scared it might come in the first quarter, call Jonathan Carbo and the Howland Insurance Group and let them help you out with your group and employee benefits. I tell you all the time about the property and casualty. They can still do that for you too, but they can help you on the benefits side as well. It's the Howland Insurance Group. They can help you out statewide here in the state of Louisiana. They're here in Baton Rouge. You can find them online at highlandig.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Talk some Saints and Jets coming up in 15 minutes. Luke Johnson of NOLA.com and The Advocate covers the black and gold with us on Thursday. So is Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers, who's with us now on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Chris, how are you?
Doing good, Hunt. Getting ready for the holidays. You ready? I know you got a busy house.
I'm ready to roll. We've got things figured out. We got to get some stuff to Shreveport, maybe incognito in some cases, but we'll figure it out and we'll get there. I'm looking forward to that. And got basketball to look forward to on Friday night, and Myersman and I will be there for that one as well. Let's talk about it. I was impressed on Saturday in the Blender. What did you see from courtside?
Yeah, it was nice to see you kind of go by and enjoy yourself as a fan. You were sitting down below us. We were up there on the concourse, and it appeared you enjoyed what you saw. I felt the same way. I mean, obviously coming off the game we talked about last week, previous matchup over in Fort Worth, didn't go so well. And you and I talked about hoping on hope that maybe that was an anomaly from a shooting standpoint, even going back to the BC game in the second half. But offensively, 63%, that'll get it done. And I'll be honest with you, Hunt, I really felt good in the first 5 minutes because I could just tell. I don't know if it was the travel those days leading up to that matchup with Texas Tech, although I would argue Texas Tech, I think, is a better team overall. But they were just a little more into it. There's a little more oomph defensively in the opening minutes. And then when you shoot the ball like that, good things go your way, and they did a good job on the glass. You see a guy like Max McKinnon, you hit 7 of 8 from 3. I mean, that's, and I think Matt, Coach McMahon made a very good point to us after the game, Hunt, and he's probably said it many times. They want to be able to shoot the ball well from beyond the arc, but that's not their offense. Their offense is dribble drive, get to the paint, see what happens, dish the ball off. They got some good bigs that pass the ball, see the ball well. And you want the three-point shot to complement your bread and butter. And I think on Saturday in the Smoothie King, that's exactly what LSU did. They got some really good threes, got them some momentum, got them some confidence, and they were still able to get to the paint and get to the rim. And to me, that's the recipe for success for this team in every matchup.
For sure. And I thought that, McKinnon 7 of 8 for 3 is not sustainable. You can't get that every night. I think that when you see De'Don Thomas controlling the flow and dishing out 12 assists and kind of controlling where the shots come from, that's something that I think you can lean on. And you kind of touched on what they want to be, but all of it probably starts with the point guard, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you look at the Texas Tech game, and I'm going to give Texas Tech, again, credit. I think they were head and shoulders a much better defensive team than SMU. I mean, there were times the other night that SMU just, I don't know what they were thinking defensively. I mean, they just let DJ go from baseline to baseline and all the way to the rim. But when you look at the stat line, I hate to say this early without a conference game under their belt that as DJ goes, LSU goes. But I think we're starting to see that picture. That theory is quickly becoming law in scientific terms, just simply because against Texas Tech, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. Against SMU, 12 assists, and they gave him 2 turnovers, although I really think he just committed 1. But either way, that's a much better outcome from LSU anytime they're on the floor.
In this portal era, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint guys' roles in August, what it's going to look like in January. How would you describe Pablo Tamba's role on this team?
I mean, I think it's impressive just simply because of the fact, again, you kind of get the guttiness, the tough plays, making things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. And he's done that every night. And suddenly you get, double-figure points and his, running the floor and getting some transition buckets. To me, when you look at the roster, and I'm talking maybe the top 5 or 6, 7 players that you're going to use on a regular basis, when you get that from Tamba, I think LSU is going to always be in a good shot to win a game because he's going to do things. He plays great defense. I mean, he's quickly becoming the guy that Matt will tell you is their defensive guy. Like if they got to really slow somebody down, they typically will make a switch if it's not originally set up that way for Pablo to kind of take over that just be a pest the entire 40 minutes. But when you get 14 points out of him, and you're going to get rebounds almost every night, I mean, that just makes LSU a lot more difficult to handle when you consider, as you say, McKinnon maybe doesn't have to hit 7 of 8, but if he can hit 3 or 4 threes, Thomas hits a 3 or 2, and then, of course, don't forget about Markel Sutton, who just, at least here in the early going, is a double-double machine.
He certainly is. 3 more non-conference games. It starts tomorrow night with Southeastern. Anything you're looking for in that game from the Tigers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to LSU just improving on what they do. Again, they got to find a way to get Mike Nwoko minutes on the floor. He's got to be able to play. It's kind of a double-edged sword. He's got to be able to stay out of foul trouble. But at some point, he's just going to have to learn how to play with 2 and possibly 3, and then late in the game, 4 fouls, just because of his presence, just the size that he goes with. But, if you look at that game, depending on the matchup you're going to have, I mean, I was impressed with LSU going a little smaller the majority of the second half, especially early on, after, SMU made that little run in the final 3 or 4 minutes to make it a 3-point game. I thought LSU came out and decided to go a little smaller. And again, I think the athleticism just overtook SMU. But, I think most nights in the SEC, you got to have Nwoko on the floor more than 18, 19 minutes a game.
This is the last time we'll talk to you before LSU kicks it off in the Texas Bowl. It's obviously a different world than it was 10 years ago for a bowl game. But what do you think about that matchup in Houston as we sit here about, I guess, now 9 days out?
I mentioned it to you last week, and I don't know if I can even describe it the way I feel or the way I think about this. I just get the sense, because I know people at Houston, I think Houston looks at this game a lot differently than, say, LSU does. And I'm not saying that Houston did not have their eye. I know Coach Fritz very well. We're very close friends. They have their eye on being in the college football playoffs, so I know they were disappointed in that. But I think they're looking at this game a little differently than LSU. And again, that's because you're going to have some younger guys, some guys we didn't see a lot of this season, probably have to play the majority of snaps when it's all said and done, just based on injuries and based on what eventually will be some possible opt-outs, you assume. And so that's, again, when you're just talking about the game itself, I mentioned to you last week, it's a wonderful thing that you get these practices. Again, Coach Kiffin and his staffers here and there, but, they do get a sense of what they want to have come back. They can identify the guys they think they can work with. So that's a good thing. But I wonder about, again, as a whole going over there, against a team that I think at least right now, they want to win this game bad. And that is the Houston Cougars. So that, to me, I mean, the trick for Coach Wilson and the staff that takes the Tigers over to Houston is really to get them amped up and fired up to play this game. And to me, I just think, to your point about 10 years ago, bowl games being differently, I just think it takes a little extra effort in these situations now for programs like LSU to get these guys fired up, create their own energy in an NFL stadium that who knows how many people will be there. I know they say it's a sellout. We'll wait and see. But to me, that's the big question is which team wants to go out there and win this game, not for next year, not for this season, but the game that happens on the 27th at 8:15.
We'll see you in the PMAC tomorrow, LSU and Southeastern. Thanks, Chris.
You got it, Chief.
Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers, will be on the call for LSU and Southeastern tomorrow, 7 o'clock tip-off, 6:30 pregame on Eagle 98.1, and he'll be on the call for the Texas Bowl week from Saturday, which is today's Thursday, week from the day after tomorrow. Days get real fuzzy at the end of the year here. Week from Saturday from Houston, Texas, 8:15. We'll be on the air for pregame at 6:15 from the stadium, getting ready for LSU and Houston. Thanks to Chris for giving us a little bit of time on this Thursday. We'll step aside, chat with Luke Johnson about the Saints and the Jets coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Really cool to tell you about Marucci each and every day, the official bat of Major League Baseball, which is quite a leap from 20 years ago when they founded this in a shed in a backyard here in Baton Rouge. And now here in Baton Rouge, we've got access to the place that makes the best bats in the world. And you can go tour the facility. You can get a campus tour. Go get tickets at maruccisports.com/campus-tour. Maybe easier to tell you just to go to maruccisports.com. Get those tickets. You can go get a campus tour. You can also go take some hacks. And it's not too late right now as we sit here on the 18th, a week from Christmas, to go. And if you've got a youth softball player in your house, if you've got a youth baseball player in your house and they want some gear for the upcoming spring season, Marucci's got all that covered for you. It's an amazing, amazing facility that puts out 1,200 bats every day. Go see how it's made. Step into the heart of it all at Marucci. You can get a campus tour, maruccisports.com/campus-tour, maruccisports.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Thursday show is brought to you by Sagrera Farms, premium Angus beef. Let's talk Saints. They'll host the Jets coming up on Sunday in the Dome. Luke Johnson will be there in the home finale before the Saints hit the road for the final 2 weeks. He joins us now on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Luke, how we doing?
Hunt, buddy, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Everybody's doing great in New Orleans. The Saints are back, right?
Looks like it. Feels like it. And I guess we'll get a real good sense of that on Sunday, whether they can take care of business against a bad Jets team that looks like it's actively trying to lose. I feel like this is an opportunity for the Saints to be like, yeah, we're going to go out and win this game. And if they don't, then like all these good vibes are totally irrevocably gone. Like if they can't beat this bad Jets team that's like starting an undrafted rookie quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see if they stay on, man. But it has been really fun the last couple of weeks.
Where are you on Tyler Shuck? Obviously, there's a lot of good vibes because they're winning games. What's your overall thesis?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to say he's definitely the guy next year. You want to see him do it over more than a 6-game sample size. Before you can say he's a franchise quarterback. But like the stuff that he's doing right now is really, really impressive. I mean, he's winning on clutch downs in clutch situations. He's given him a presence with his legs. I think that his teammates really, really respond to him, which is important. There's nothing that he's doing right now that makes me like really have any pause about him whatsoever. The stuff that's been really impressive is just growth in specific areas that you want to see from a young quarterback. I looked at it this week. His first 3 games when he was being blitzed, so 5 or more rushers from the defense, he completed 6 of his 20 passes. And, that kind of goes back to what we talked about coming into the year. It's like, can he perform under pressure? And it wasn't necessarily always the case in his first couple games. In his last 3 games, he's 19 for 25 for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's pretty good. That'll work. And it's such a huge improvement over the start of the season for him, at least his first starts. So like the fact that he's showing growth, the fact that he's coming up in the big moments, the fact that he has taken this Saints team, which has really been atrocious all year, and got him playing 500 ball with him at quarterback, and really should be 4-2 if Chris Olave makes a play that Chris Olave would tell you he should make. You can't feel anything but really good about him.
This is a layered question, but we see Shuck pushing the ball down the field, making throws into some tighter windows, doing things are pretty impressive. And we didn't see much of that at all from Spencer Rattler early on. There was so much check down. Do we think that that's because Shuck is running the same offense and just doing it better? Do we think that Kellen Moore is feeling like he can take the training wheels off? I mean, I think you're getting what I'm getting at, but why is he having more success in doing things down the field that we didn't see from Spencer Rattler?
This is maybe a little bit too much psychoanalyzing for me, but Spencer Rattler had an opportunity, right? And it was like playing like he didn't want to lose the job. Yeah. And I thought, look, I think he played really well, right? I think he opened a lot of eyes, and there are a lot of people around the league who see him as a potential starting quarterback. But I don't think the checkdowns and the kind of lack of explosion in the passing game was really a factor of the play calling. Like they were calling shots every week. They were having Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave run these big clear outs, and there was an element of teams playing like umbrella coverage against them, putting 2 safeties over the top and trying to take that away, because that's what the Saints did really well last year. But there was also just a reticence to kind of chuck the ball downfield. And when you started to see him lose his grip on the job a little bit, like he started getting a little bit more aggressive, and we saw the turnover numbers jump up. Yeah. And I think Tyler has, for the most part, especially in these last 5 weeks, let's call it, yeah, he's played loose, and he is really ripping the ball downfield, and it's not just the deep throws. Like, he's hit on a couple of them, but those intermediate throws, 10 to 20 yards downfield, like, he is really, really good in there, and the numbers back it up. Yeah, he's been one of the better on a per throw basis quarterbacks in the NFL on those intermediate throws, which is so crucial to an offense moving the ball. You want to be completing those checkdowns when they're available, and that's all well and good. But if you're trying to string together 12-play drive after 13-play drive after 11-play drive, that's hard on an offense. So I think the fact that it's opened up a little bit, I think to me is just more of a willingness to be aggressive with the football.
What's been the most impressive thing the defense has done in this 4 or 5 game stretch?
There's a lot that I really like about it. I think since week 9, they've got the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, and this is, they haven't played this murderer's row of quarterbacks, but they're also in a lot of competitive games, meaning teams aren't just trying to run the clock out on them. So that I really like that. I think the play of their young secondary has been a huge plus for them this year. But to me, the reason they're winning games is because they're getting off the field in gotta have it situations. And this is a defense that was really bad last year in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, when it's just okay, who's going to get this yard here? And they've been excellent this year. They've got 5 stops on 4th and 1 this year. They just got another one in this last game. They are allowing teams to convert just over 50% on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 this year, which is number 6 in the NFL. It's a more than a 10% increase or decrease since last year, whichever way you want to look at it. It's 10% better than it was last year. We're talking about 10% of 50 to 70 plays. That's talking about 6-7 drives that keep going and score touchdowns. That stuff adds up over the course of a year. So I've been really impressed by those guys. It's a lot of the dirty work guys that don't get a lot of credit. Devon Godshaw, Jonathan Bullard, guys who never pop out on a box score or the highlight reel, but they're making plays, and they're eating up blocks to allow the linebackers and the second level defenders to make plays. So that to me has been one of the most impressive turnarounds for this team. Because you remember last year's defense. They were a sieve in a lot of ways, but especially in those gotta have it situations. No
question. Luke Johnson's our guest with NOLA.com and The Advocate, covers the black and gold. Let's look at the Saints team from a running the football perspective on Sunday. Who is going to be available to do that?
I don't know. You got any cleats hanging around at your house? Man?
Not a single one. Hadn't had one in 15 years.
Somebody asked me, the quintessential, how many yards do you think you could get in an NFL football game? I'm like, less than 0. But the guys they have out there are guys who don't have a lot more experience than I do. Yep. It's looking like Audric Estime, who obviously made a couple of really nice plays in that game-winning drive last week, and Evan Hull, and that's pretty much it. They signed Nyheim Hines to the practice squad. I'd be surprised if he plays much, if any, of a role Sunday, just because he's been on the team for one day. Today was his first practice. But I'm not expecting Alvin Kamara to be out there. Devin Neal's already been ruled out. So it's going to be really up to those 2 guys, and probably, sprinkle in some Tyler Shuck and Taysom Hill QB runs. But it's not much. They don't have a lot to go with. The good news is, if they're going to play any game with, essentially guys who were on practice squads earlier this year at running back, it's good to do it against this Jets defense that just is really, really bad.
It is, and they don't have 2 of their best players because they traded them. So that helps with New Orleans in this instance. Is there a good chance that we've seen the last of Devon Vele for the season?
I don't know. They did sign a receiver, and he's 6'4", which makes you start to think about things. They don't have a practice squad spot available, so he's taking somebody's spot on the active roster. Yeah. We're going to find out soon enough who that is, but it would suck if that's the case, because Vele was really coming on so strong, and Like he was a really big part of what made Tyler Shuck really good these last couple of weeks. All those gotta have it downs, those 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 11s, they were all going to Vele. So I hope we haven't seen the last of them, but I think there's a legitimate chance that's the issue here.
I'm assuming you like to change stances on Sunday. How do you like their chances over the next 2 weeks in total?
Yeah, I feel good about them winning 2 out of the next 3, and maybe this is just me drinking the Kool-Aid. Like I've been guilty of that before this season. Seeing 1 or 2 really good efforts and thinking like, yeah, I think they're going to win the next game, and then they just make me look like an absolute idiot. But like right now they're an ascending team, and they're a team that is placing more emphasis on playing good football down the stretch than they are on like where they're going to be picking in the draft. And I think when you're looking across the line to the Jets this week, they're starting an undrafted rookie free agent quarterback. There are other 2 quarterbacks who they've played throughout the year, 2 veterans in Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. They're both on the injury report, but they're limited. If you're looking at a team that's like trying to win, like you'd think one of those 2 guys would be playing. Instead, they've already said, yeah, it's going to be Brady Cook. And that to me is just a team that is, it's already thinking about 2026. You should win that game. You should win the Titans game. The Titans have been a mess all season. But this is obviously all dependent on Tyler Shuck, right? Can he maintain this really excellent level that we've seen from him in the last couple of weeks? And there's peaks and valleys, with rookies. The growth is never linear with these guys. It may be too much to expect out of them, especially with the Saints dealing with a lot of injuries. But like, I'm feeling pretty good about this team. I'm feeling much better about this team than I have really at any point in the last year.
Y'all have an awesome Christmas. Enjoy the football over the weekend, and we'll talk down the road. I know we probably got a couple of shows off with Christmas and the New Year, but we'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds good, buddy. See you soon.
He's Luke Johnson with the AdvocateNola.com. Catch him on Twitter at @ByLukeJohnson. He'll be in the Dome on Sunday for Saints and Jets. I'll tell you, Jordan, like the vibes are a lot better in those interviews. It just feels a lot better.
I mean, he came on the phone. So I feel him, man. Vibes are high, man. This is Shuck City.
Everybody likes it.
Yeah.
Everybody likes it. I'm in. Let's get it done. Got to win the last 3, and then we'll really feel like it may be on to something. We shall see. We'll come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You can find them online at fabrychevrolet.com. If you're getting on the road next week and you want to make sure your car is ready to rock, well, go to Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Well, you might look at me and say, "Hon, I don't have a GMC or a Chevrolet. I'm not going there to get my car serviced." You can. They service all makes in the service department there in St. Francisville on Highway 61. If you're thinking, wait a second, I've seen that dealership on 61 in St. Francisville. That's not a Fabry. It is now. They were new ownership as of October. They've got a huge inventory of new and pre-owned. And you can check them out at Highway 61 in St. Francisville or online at fabrychevrolet.com. Tahoes, Silverados on the Chevy side, Sierras, Yukons, Denali's, all your GMCs as well. They've got you covered. And you know when you visit a Fabry automotive dealership, you're going to get incredible customer service. They've been a pillar in this community for 35 years in business in the auto industry. Check them out, Highway 61 in St. Francisville, or online at fabrychevrolet.com. That's Fabry Chevrolet GMC.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
All right, wrapping things up on a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're brought to you by Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef. Tender, flavorful, available just north of Baton Rouge in Ethel. I tell you this story all the time with Sagrera Farms. You talk about categories of beef. You've got Select, which on an IMF score is somewhere between 0 and 3. You've got Choice, which is between 3 and 8. That's about 60% of the beef that you see out there. Then you got Prime, which is 8 and above on this scale. The beef at Sagrera Farms is all Prime. They're not guessing. They've genetically produced these products, and they've got them ultrasounded. And you're talking about IMF scores, 9 being Prime, 12, 15, 18, 20. In some cases, twice the standard of Prime. There's 2 places you can get Sagrera Farms beef. At the farm or at Summer Club. It's right here. Some of the best beef in the country, just outside Baton Rouge. So call Sean, get on by the farm, and fill your freezer with some delicious Sagrera Farms premium Angus beef. I'm going to see Sean on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Going to get some beef and head down to New Orleans for Christmas present for my aunt and uncle. So we're going to do that coming up on Sunday. You can do the same over at Sagrera Farms. All right, we'll wrap up this show with some Take It or Leave It.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer. I'm going to have a couple flights tonight at the company Christmas party. Just watch me. Going to be delicious. If you got a party coming up, you're heading out for the holidays, if you just want something cold to drink at the house, Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. It's only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. It's Flight by Yingling.
All right, so yesterday we talked about Puka Nacua. Well, today we're going to talk about his brother, Samson Nacua, former Saint, as he was arrested last night with another guy for stealing a vehicle belonging to Lakers forward Aldo Thero. Nacua was suspended for 1 game earlier this year by the UFL for slapping a fan during the altercation during a loss, following a loss. So are the Nacua brothers the new bad boys? Take it or leave it.
I mean, I'll take it for now. I don't know the Nacua brothers. Why are we stealing cars? This is a prank, or is this?
No.
Why? What?
Stolen, broke into this guy. The Lakers forward Aldo Thero, I think, played with Coach Kyle.
So he was playing in the SEC.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, Samson
Nacua.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Say, Puka, I need whatever that car is. Just buy me one of those.
Yes.
That's the call. That's all you have to do. Just I would like that car, and he can buy it.
Yeah.
There is no car Puka Nacua can't buy. So
Literally.
just do that.
So I
Don't steal the car.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Nacua brothers. Like I said, yesterday we talked about Puka coming out talking about the refs. So they're not having the best time.
Chill out, Nakuas. It's the holiday season.
Literally.
Calm down.
Okay, so Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua made weight for their heavyweight fight tomorrow, live on Netflix. So everybody can watch it. It's live on Netflix. Paul weighed in at 216 today, while Anthony Joshua came in at 243 pounds. Can Jake Paul pull off the upset? Take it or leave it?
Leave it. I don't know who these people are. Jake Paul's on the internet on this. Here's one thing I want to say about boxing.
Yes.
I do have an appreciation for boxing. I wouldn't call myself a boxing fan. I know that it was huge like in the 80s and 90s, and it's not what it once was. There's a guy that just retired, undefeated, holder of 3 belts, and I've never heard of him. Like, that is a problem for boxing. Like, I'm around the sports world. I'm around national sports broadcast. There's a dude who went like something in O, and I never heard of him.
42
Come on now, y'all got to do a little bit more promoting than that. I need to have heard of this guy.
See, I think the problem is it's the money fights now. Now it's all about the money fights.
Yeah.
Like the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fights. Like those fights are just watering the sport down. So last but not least, everybody's, I guess used to be most hated quarterback, Las Vegas Raiders minority owner Tom Brady told Shaquille O'Neal and Adam Lefkoe on the Big podcast with Shaq that he believes he could still play in the NFL at age 48 in the wake of seeing Phillip Rivers return to the league. So he said, and I quote, "I'd whoop blank right now. I go out there and play and give me 1 month. I mean, I could go out there and play with anybody." Can Tom Brady still do it at 48? Take it or leave it.
I'd take it.
I'll take it.
I think. Define, do it. Would he win the Super Bowl? No. But could he play at the level that some of the bottom players in the NFL play at quarterback? Sure. Phillip Rivers out there won a game last week. He'd run the ball, play a little defense, and ask Brady to throw 27 passes. Like, yeah, he's in ridiculous shape. He's a cyborg of a human. Like, I don't want him to. He wouldn't win the MVP anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want. There are 20 other guys I'd rather have, but could he go out there and play on a Sunday and not look ridiculous?
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yes,
I agree with you.
He could do that. I have very little doubt he could do that.
Yes, Tom Brady definitely could go out there and spin. I don't know if we can do a full 17 games, but you can go out there and spin at least 1 or 2.
It's one of those deals where you know that Father Time's going to win eventually, and he can't beat Tom Brady anymore, but it's a standard you're trying to play to. You're trying to play to, I don't even know who the Browns – he can play better than Shedeur Sanders right now.
Yeah, you could.
I think.
It's Tom Brady. That's it for take it or leave it.
All right. Looking forward to the Guaranteed Company Christmas party this evening, but we still will be back with you tomorrow. If you missed any of today's show, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Talked a little Michael Van Buren at the top of the show. You can find that at Hunt on LSU. Talked some Saints rebuild. You can find that at Hunt on Saints. You can also find our conversation with Luke Johnson, which was really good, at Hunt on Saints as well. Matt's going to drive you home next. It's After Further Review. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place for a Friday edition. The Hunt Palmer.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Just about hit that right.
Yeah, no.
Didn't do it. First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. If you've been doing something 115 years, it stands to reason you're probably pretty good at it. And First American Bank and Trust is just an impressive and amazing part of our community. They've now spread to 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So wherever you are, there's a First American Bank and Trust near you, whether that's around the Baton Rouge area, Jones Creek, Dutchtown. You stretch over to I-12. You find them in St. Tammany, Tangipahoa Parish. Go down south of I-10, even St. James, St. John, down to Lafourche Parish. No matter where you are, there's a First American Bank and Trust. Their management experience averages 25 years with the company at each branch. It's an amazing community bank and an amazing community feel with the national resources that you're looking for. Every single decision made locally at First American Bank and Trust. Stop in and see them. They want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. It's First American Bank and Trust.